Hi everybody, it's Lisa, owner of Peaches Skincare. You can follow us on peachesskincare.com, and I also invite you to look at our Instagram and Facebook to see a little bit about who we are and what we do. I wanted to go over some comments that clients have asked me. They have asked if I would go over skincare products and compare them to Peaches. So I thought today I would go over two different products. I'm going to go over Drunk Elephant and Paula's Choice. Before I get started, I wanted to let everybody know we got back in our 100% cotton masks for your face. Even if you don't buy ours, buy something that's cotton or silk for your skin. It's so much healthier. And we also got back in our Peachy Clean hand sanitizer, okay? Let's go ahead and start with Drunk Elephant. Drunk Elephant has a marketing campaign where they use the Suspicious Six. It's their way of saying those are the ingredients that are bad for your skin. And I do agree with some of them, and I think it's really a clever way to sell product. So what are the Suspicious Six? Essential oils, drying alcohols, silicones, chemical sunscreens, fragrances, and dyes. I agree with a lot of that. I think that many of those ingredients can be really detrimental to your skin. I think essential oils can actually be very good, however. I think many holistic or organic skincare companies like myself, we do use essential oils because they can be very healing, they can be very soothing to the skin, and they can reduce acne and any inflammation of the skin. So I think it's being mindful of essential oils. You would never put an essential oil directly onto your skin. Even a masseuse uses a carrier oil. Drying alcohols. Not all alcohols are drying. There are alcohols that are the alcohol that you clean the inside of your nose with, like I ask you to. And then there are moisturizing alcohols that are like a cetyl alcohol. Just because it says alcohol does not mean it's bad. I actually don't know why they don't change the name sometimes. Silicones, absolutely agree, not a great thing. Chemical sunscreens, you all know if you've watched my previous video on sunscreens, chemical sunscreens are not my favorite. I don't think you should add sunscreens to any of your skincare. It can actually pollute your moisturizer, or if you wear powder, it can actually cause damage to your skin or a chemical reaction. And so your sunscreen should really be something you put on completely separate. Fragrances. Absolutely agree. However, it used to be perfumes were how we'd label something that was what was bad, and fragrances were considered an essential oil or something natural. But now fragrances, or the word fragrance is more of a negative connotation in a product. So many of us don't use the word fragrance anymore. We try to let you know any essential oils or natural scents that we use. And dyes. Of course, we don't want color in your products. I've looked at different skincare in my 30 years as a master esthetician, and I'll notice a pink cleanser or a pretty blue toner, and that's just not good for your skin. I also don't like that they use bars of soap. That's really how the company started, and in my opinion, after years of doing skincare on clients, skincare products that are bars of soap, when you leave that bar of soap on your basin or in the shower or wherever you use it, even if it has a container, it collects bacteria and fungus. And then the next time that you go to use it after several hours, that goes on your skin. And I have seen numerous clients stop using their bars of soap and their skin really clears up. Don't think that Drunk Elephant doesn't use preservatives, because if you look at their ingredient list, there are definitely preservatives in there like EDTA. I don't know how much they use, but I can compare it to Peaches. Peaches uses essential oils, but we are very mindful of the oils that we use or the natural elements that we use. Peaches does use a preservative, but we use less than 1%. So what that means is that when you put it in the product, it's like a drop and it just dissipates like alcohol in your food. I don't love how they'll say on one ingredient, this is what we use and this is what we don't use, because then if you compare the next product, that ingredient will be in the next product, or it will be in the what we use list. I hope that made sense. So on the back of Drunk Elephant, it will say what we used and what we don't use, or on their website. But when you go from one product to another, the what we don't use is sometimes in the what we use. So be mindful, really read your labels, and just because someone has a really great way of selling something doesn't always mean it will be great for your skin. Now, if you're a Drunk Elephant fan, you do you, and I'm really happy you found something that works. But this is just my opinion on their skincare line. The next product that I wanted to go over was Paula's Choice. Now, Paula's Choice isn't owned by Paula anymore, and it started out as more of a review of products that were good for you or bad for you, and you would see what was in a product based on a Paula's Choice. And then they came out with their own skincare line. They also contradict themselves. They say that they don't use one thing in one product when you will see that preservative or that ingredient in another product. And I, again, don't know how much they use. I think that many of the products are not labeled completely, and I think that that is something very important. I think a lot of you out there, you consumers, are not understanding that when you see a product that has all these wonderful things in it and you don't see anything that sounds interesting or unusual or scary, you think the product's great and they're not using a preservative, or they're not using something in it that might sound negative or have a negative connotation, but really they're not labeling their product completely. And just like something you might make at home, like a do-it-yourself project, you wouldn't want to use a product that didn't have a preservative, that didn't have something that killed bacteria and fungus, because we go through with our chemist on a monthly, yearly basis different ingredients and how we can make something better and how we can change something. And we have actually tried to use very natural substances. I think the latest one was a radish root. And every time we tested it, fungus was growing in the product. So be mindful that sometimes if you're not getting better, it can be your product and something that may be in your product that is causing the problem on your skin. And I read this a lot as well. People will say, I have less acne. I look a little bit better. My scars aren't as bad. I only break out a couple times a month now. When you have good skincare, you shouldn't be breaking out at all. Unless you're wearing a mask. You know, my daughter's a nurse in a hospital, and if she has a bad mask on that's protecting her, it may break her out. Or if you pluck your chin, you know, I did a whole video on waxing. There is a reason to why your skin has issues. Along with Drunk Elephant and Paula's Choice, I wanted to just bring into the toxicity list, or they'll call them the dirty lists. Many of these lists don't have products that, or they talk about products having bad ingredients, but they base it on many products that don't list the full line of ingredients, or they don't list how much of the percentages or the function of what that ingredient is needed in the product. I hope that made sense. In other words, if they use a preservative, how much is the percentage and why are they using it? And how does it balance out the product? Because many times we need to keep a product very stable. So the lists are not always accurate. I think they're great to have. I know people that have had cancer in their families and had issues in their families, and they really want to be sure they're using clean product. But just like anything you read on the webs, on the World Wide Web, or things that you read, not everything you read is accurate. And what they're finding is some of the products are not accurate on those lists. So what can you do? Have an esthetician that you feel confident with, that you trust, that can help you discern the many products that are out there. It's a billion-dollar business. Find products that are made in smaller batches. We do make our products in smaller batches, but I also know how my product works, and I am an esthetician, so I've not only used it on my skin, like a lot of these companies. Drunk Elephant was developed by a woman trying to find a way to heal her skin. Paula's Choice, Paula was trying to find a way to heal her skin. I've actually had to learn how to heal thousands of people's skin. And I have to do that without giving them medications or doing anything invasive. I have to do it naturally. So find someone in your area that can help you do that. Because when your skin feels good, you feel better and your confidence level goes up. Also, spending money on products. You don't need to spend a lot on products, but there will be products that cost a little bit more. And just like anything else, that handbag that you love or that pair of shoes that you like to wear, if it's quality or they have quality ingredients, sometimes that costs us money and therefore it does cost the consumer a little bit. But that doesn't mean that everything has to cost a fortune. Buy wisely. Read your labels. If you have any comments or any questions for me, please don't hesitate to comment below. I would love you to subscribe to my channels and like our channels, and I'm grateful for all of you tuning in. I hope to see you next time. Stay healthy and stay happy.